Good morning, honorable judges and all of the participants here, and ladies and gentlemen here. Here I am standing as the opposition side of the government. The motion says that this House, as a parent of the prodigy in a non-lucrative field, will prioritize developing the child's talent in that field over steering them towards a more lucrative field. So the definition that given by the proposition side was right. That's prodigy refers to a highly talented child who demonstrated exceptional talents or ability in a specific field at a level significantly above their age group, or we can say that it's a gifted kids. And for example, is there's a kids that be good in the niche sport and it significantly above their age group, and a non-lucrative means to a field that offers limited financial stability or income, despite a growing high level of skill and dedication. For the example is classical art, tissue sport, or etc. And then lucrative fields refers to a field that offers high financial rewards, strong income potential, and a long-term economic stability. And it's all was right. And then let's talk about the status quo in this world. In this world, everything needs money. We need money to support our life and to continue our life. Imagine if we live in a world and we can produce money, or maybe just produce enough money to get life. The fact is, no one will help us. Maybe some people will have the empathy or sympathy, but we can always rely on them. They have their life too. They need to support their family. They need to have their money to continue their life. And how can we let people help us? But people also suffering with their life. That was a pathetic things. And then what's the problem in the status quo? Some of kids are born with a proficiency or mastery, and of course we if we support them on their proficiency or mastery, it will produce the perfect results, and maybe it'll lead them to a successful way. For example, there's a kid that it have a good mastery or proficiency in golf, and if as our parents, if we support them, of course it will have the good results on the future. But we need to remember, not all of the mastery of the proficiency that our kids have is lucrative fields. Some of the kids has a proficiency in non-lucrative kids. For the example is niche sports, classical arts such as pickleball, Jepara, or etc. or something like that. We knew that it cannot bring money to us. It just make us spend our money and our energy or something like that. But there's no profit for them. That sport. And because of that SQ that says that this world is need money forever, that and the problem in the SQ that we need money and can rely on people forever because people have their life, and the burden and the problem of this SQ that not all of the kids have the mastery in their lucrative fields. Our stance for this motion is we firmly not agree about the motion that says this House, as a parent of a prodigy in a non-lucrative field, would prioritize developing the child's talent instead file over steering them toward a more lucrative field, because we knew that we need money. We know that we need to continue our life and continue our life we need to support from the money. We can just rely on the other people and just rely on our mastery. That brings nothing to us. Why we should spend our energy, our money, or our time, but there's no reciprocal to us. It just make us tired and fed up. And then what's the goal of this motion is, number one, we want all of our children is paid up with the money, not just appreciation. Why? Let me explain. In the SQ, I say that everything needs money. There's nothing free in this world. Everything needs to pay up. And the other reason why we need money is we need to support our family in the future, or maybe support themselves. And our kids just do it like that too, because if they will grow up, they will build a new family, or if they're not build a new family, they need to support their life. And our mastery needs to be upgraded. Our children mastery needs to be upgraded time by time. Furthermore, let me explain. In the future, our children has to live by their own. They need to support their financial, because our life is just not ended in a young age. As a parents, we hope that our child will live last long and can continue their life by their own. And of course, in the future, they need money to support their life. They need to be eaten. They need to be a house to be protect themselves or something like that things. But their talent or mastery that we support are in the lucrative field. It will make our children have the difficulty in make some money. Why? I can say that because the motion says that this House, as a parent of the prodigy in a non-lucrative fields, will prioritize developing the child's talents in that field over steering them towards more lucrative fields. And it means as parents, we need to focus on their natural talent, even if it can make money, and that make us as a parent have to ignore all the things that are outside their talents, which in the end means they don't have any talent or abilities that can bring them benefits. That's what makes them suffer in the old age. Number two, we need to protect our nurturing or upgrade our talent forever. In fact, to protect or nurture our children's parents need to model insight, the nurture or mastery. We need to pay the coach. We need to hire or rent a place for our children practice. And you know what? It all needs money and energy. But let's talk again about the talent. The talent that our kids have is not in the lucrative fields. That means there's no model for us to, as a parent, to pay all of the things. Maybe it's okay when, as a parent, we are rich and we are financially stable. But our children is growing and become an adult, and who's gonna pay for that? Because as a parent, we're not gonna live forever. And again, who's gonna save us when you're not saving your life? The proposition says that the child will hate their parents. Definitely it's not gonna happen when we tell our children in a good way. We can educate them or tell them that they can still do their mastery as the hobby, not as the main ability. We're just gonna educate them that everything needs money inside. And then the proposition says that our children will say that the mastery things that they have is easy to do for them, not like the other ability. But definitely it's not right, because everything will be easy when we tell our children or tell our mind that it's easy. So what should we do is educate them. For example, if we think that math is hard, we will not gonna solve the problem of the math. But when we tell our mind that math is good, math is easy, it will easy for us to do the solve the math. As a parents, we're still gonna be proud of our children no matter what. Our children must also think that and knowing about the world. We don't want our children to be hurt and suffer in old age because we didn't teach them something beneficial. We also can guarantee that our children will be successful in future with their niche sport. What can guarantee it? Nothing. The worst case is we only spend money without getting any benefits, and again our children will have these difficulties in the future. And the propositions also says that it will be the investment. Who can prove that it was the good investment? No one guaranteed it. What if our children fail, get lost, and not successful? We also need to remember that we can make our children as the investment machine. And then what's the problem? The burden of profit about this motion. There's nothing guaranteed. Imagine in the future our children being the fail or not gonna be successful in their fail. And we never know what happens in the future. We never know that will that talent be useful or be just a display in a world? Yes, if they are successful and make a lot of money, it will. But what if it's not? It will just make them just suffering and questioning their life. All we can do is prepare. Therefore, we must prepare our children to be more ready in the future, to be able to stand on their own feet without having to ask for help. In conclusion, because all of us said as the opposition, we firmly not agree with the motion that says this House, as parents of prodigy in non-lucrative fields, will prioritize developing as the lucrative fields towards steering them into the lucrative fields.